Hey guys, Tom here, continuing my video review on the V Strom 650. I'm gonna ride it through London now. I'm in the centre of London, so I'm gonna do my commute on it going home. It's a bit of a long commute. It's about an hour and 15 minutes it takes me, so I won't do the whole thing, but I'll do a good part of it so you can see what the Strom's like going through town. I'll probably also talk about some of the tips, well, not tips I suppose, well maybe some which I've learned along my way, but some of the benefits I'd say of riding a bike in London, one of which is this right here. Car park in the centre of London. I'm in Chelsea, absolutely free. I mean, look, here's the barrier to get out and I'm through there, so fantastic. I mean, I used to spend, when I was coming into London, you know, easily 150 pounds a month on parking, whereas now I spend nothing, so that's good. As I'm filtering, you'll notice some people, you know, go through the traffic quicker than I do. Some people go a bit slower. I mean, it's just going at the pace you're comfortable with. I'm not in a massive rush to get home. It's letting me go, so you know, I'm just gonna go along fairly comfortably. I probably won't talk. Is she letting me go? I probably won't talk all the way through because I'm going to run out of things to say, but I'll talk when I can, and when stuff comes up I think is worthwhile mentioning. I don't anticipate anything overly exciting happening on this video. I guess it's going to be around about 40 minutes long, but you never know. See, you get some bikers come up a lot quicker. Nothing wrong with that. They're more experienced with London, I suppose. Yeah, so this is Chelsea right now. Joe the Juice on our right. I've had a juice there. Fantastic juice. I've only been there once. So, great thing, number one about being on a bike, see this traffic? Whoop. We go around here, go next to it, make sure we come in, give it space. Is he letting him go? Yep. The other one coming over. Come on, sweetheart. I'm going now. Now a lot of bikers do go around these little islands. I'm always a little bit unsure about that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, it depends. But here we go here, another load of traffic. Just be careful, making sure no one's going to be turning right. It's a no entry anyway, but you never know, someone might pull in or do a U-E. It's got to be a bit cautious about that. But I think the V Strom handles this sort of riding pretty well, because you are sitting higher up, so you can see quite easily what's going on. But I think a louder exhaust would be better, as I mentioned in the last video, just so that people can hear me. Check out that dude on that little, you see him going over there? That's one of those little hoverboard things. he did look pretty cool, I've got to admit. Not really a fan of those, but the way he just cruised past, that was cool. But yeah, this is Chelsea, a bit of a posh part of London. You may have seen the Made in Chelsea series. And see, I could start filtering here. I was just holding off a little bit. Just want to see what's happening with the bus up ahead. But now I can move down. Obviously I've got cars coming towards me, but I've got space just to slot in here without a problem. I'm going to be turning left at the bridge. Let's check on my left there. Oh, car in the way. But even if I was going straight over, I'd probably be in this lane, cutting in front of the traffic there. Very nice day at the moment, 22 degrees. It was a lot colder earlier. A winter is coming, as they say. It's like a situation here, we're coming up to some red lights. So I personally position myself over this side and I then come in where I can and hope this driver is going to be okay with me, which he is. Most drivers are fine. I mean, as a percentage wise, you know, it's probably less than 5% that cause problems for you. So you have just got to be aware of it. That driver may be thinking, hey, you pushed in front of me, and they then try and race you. I would have liked to have been on the left of this car because there is more space, but we're going to squeeze in just here. I think it's always good to have less. Now see, he's moving forward to the left of me. I think always good to try and keep space clear in front of you. He's going to go, we're just going to let him. There's no point racing them. We're at more risk than they are. But that's it. I mean, you get some people that want to do that. It is rare, I think, but not ultra rare or anything like that. I mean, bearing in mind how many junctions am I going through a day? I've got no idea how many junctions I go through a day, but there's a lot, and that might happen, you know, once a day, if that, maybe once every 2 days. I don't really get it. You know, they're not going to get ahead of you, really. They're ahead of you for this moment here, but you know, it's not going to be long, and before, you know, I'm way past them. So sections like this, it's a little bit tighter, so I'm always a little bit cautious about filtering on the other side here. That bike is going up on the left, which I don't like to filter too much on the left. That's the Thames to our right. Can't see any of it because there's loads of work going on. Yeah, I personally think the good thing about being on a bike is, yeah, you can save time, you can save a lot of time, which also means that in situations like this, where you're, you know, it's probably a little bit safer just to take a little bit of time on it, it doesn't really bother me at all, because I know how much time I'm saving overall. That's my view. Obviously people, you know, have different sort of priorities with risk and time saving, and I suppose, you know, as I become more experienced, the risk ability to deal with risk, manage it, assess it properly, gets better. So I may then be a little more open to doing things which I think are risky at the moment. One thing I do notice, you'll see it there, people do walk out a little bit more. If it's just a bike coming, people walk out for cars, they see you, but they just start walking a little bit sooner, which is just something to be aware of. Right, we're passing these cars now. See? So it didn't really help her in any way if she was racing me in that sense. Oh, Battersea Power Station over to the right. A lovely building being turned into flats. All those flats have been sold off to foreign investors, so no Londoner will ever live in there, which is a shame. Property in London, if you're unfamiliar, if you're watching this overseas, is priced ridiculously, to the point where people living and working in London, there's very few that can actually afford to get on the property ladder, and it's turning into a renting market. I couldn't afford to buy in London, so that's why I'm down in Kent, and quality of life in Kent is quite good, so I like it, even though I do miss London and all that you can do here, because it is a super fun city, but expensive. Big market for houseboats. I don't know if you could, I don't know if that's coming through, the houseboats over there. They'd be pretty cool. Okay, I'm just a little bit cautious of that taxi driver. I don't know if you noticed, he looked like he was going to move, so looks like he was going to cut across. That's one thing you've got to be aware of. You know, traffic coming across from all different directions. Especially when you're filtering. We'll probably have points where we're riding along and there's, you know, we're filtering past traffic and there's lots of side roads joining. Got to be very cautious about people pulling out of those side roads, because they just don't know you're there. And if they hit you, that will hurt. Now see, we're turning right here, and these traffic lights take ages, so I'm just going to pop up the left hand side, like so, and then I'm going to cut across more like this. Easily saves me 5-8 minutes. MI6 building on the left. Well, I think it's MI6 building, Secret Service building, the James Bond building, I don't know. I actually saw two guys standing on the roof once in suits talking. I always wondered what they were saying. Having a conversation out the office right up there. Looked cool. Probably just talking about their golf game on the weekend, but still cool. Now see here, a lot of bikes go around the outside there and cut in down the traffic. Can do that, but then you've got a few lanes to come across, so I sometimes do it, but we're not in a rush today. And I was too busy looking at the MI6 building. Look at all the cameras on it. It's a cool looking building. So this area of town is Vauxhall that we're going through now. Okay, I might be in the wrong lane here. I'm usually coming around on the outside here, where I can then cut in front of all of this traffic. But it's okay. We want to jump over a lane. So congestion zone, we haven't gone through it, but another great thing about being on a bike, if you do go through it, you don't have to pay, and it's something like £11.50, I don't know. So if you're someone who goes through the congestion zone and is parking in London, you know, on a bike, you're probably going to save, let's say £10 a day for parking, and let's say £10 a day congestion, that's £20 a day. I mean, it's astronomical. And also the freedom of having a bike going around London is good, because you quite happily ride around to different sections, get there pretty quick, not sitting in traffic for ages. So this is the oval. On the left there, I don't know which you've been. See, I've got a red light up ahead, so I know I can now squeeze up through the traffic here. Oh, I can smell fish and chips. Oh, it is Friday. And here on the left we've got a bus lane. Now, motorbikes are allowed in most bus lanes in London. If you look at the sign there, most of them have the little motorbike picture. Not all of them, always got to check. But again, saves all that time there. I could have gone up on the other side, but safer to go down this side. Now, so be careful about people walking across between the cars. Okay, this Mini's turning right up here, sorry, left up here, so he's coming across me. So what I'll do is, let's see what's happening first. Got a lot of cyclists in London to contend with as well. I haven't quite decided which lane I'm going in, because we're going to 2 lanes here, so I've got a taxi behind me, so I'm just making sure he doesn't come on my left or right. There we go. Now I probably could go up the left here, but instead I'll just stay where I am. And again there, see, I've just passed that taxi. Now it's one car. Does it make much difference passing one car? My view is it does, because I then have a free open road ahead of me, so I can see further, see what's going on. Being behind a taxi isn't too bad, you know, but being behind, you know, vans or anything a bit bigger, I really hate being behind them, because then you just can't see what's happening ahead, and you can't plan for it. So as a habit, I get to the front whenever I can. Now we've got a nice free road. Now what we've got to think about is vehicles on our right doing U-turns, getting bored in the traffic, people turning across into the other junctions, anybody walking out across the road. There's quite a lot to deal with. I'm quite fortunate in that I've driven a lot around London in a car, so I'm fairly used to London traffic and what's going on. So the jump onto a bike hasn't really been a major difficulty. I don't know why they're going around the left there. Was that a bus lane bit? I probably could have gone around there. I didn't see a sign though, so it's fine. Okay, ambulance coming up behind. Okay, he's going round. Always make room for ambulances. Get out the way. an extra 30 seconds, you know, that could be a difference between life and death. Okay, so red light ahead again, I can see that, so again I'm checking over to the side. This car here has got his right indicator on. Okay, let's be careful, he's turning right as well. I came out a little bit more and then came back in. So there was a risk if he turned there, which he was going to, but in those situations you either stop, or if there's a gap, you know, twist the wrist and go for it. But you got to commit, you can't be wishy-washy in it. So I go in the bus lane here, but I'm going to get prevented by the bus from going much further, so I might as well stay where I am at the moment. I've got a red light ahead, that's now going to green. Got to be cautious around speed limits around London. There's some strange sections where all the cars will ride quicker than the speed limit, and in those situations I really do think it's best off, you know, moving with traffic. Right, let's squeeze up this side nice and slow because the lights could change any minute. Now when we set off here, I've got to think about this bike on my right. He's, I'm hoping, going to move pretty quick, because then I've got this cyclist on my left which I need to go around, and I don't know if when that cyclist starts going he's going to wobble out to the right a little bit. So that's what I'm thinking about here. So I'm not going to pull off quickly, I'm just going to pull off ready. The Kia behind is giving space, they're not edging forward or anything, so that's how you can usually tell if a driver's going to be a bit of an idiot. They edge forward as you're there. This guy's checking, he's in first gear, he's ready to go. And the cyclist took his time, which was good. Okay, got a car on my right hand side, I need to close this gap so he can't fill it. I'm going to come around the outside here as well. Sometimes quite handy when you have another biker ahead, not because they create gaps or anything, it's just they make people think about bikers a little bit more. So, and you can see when they're braking, when they're coming in. Okay, we've got a red light ahead, should be okay pulling across all of here, but we'll keep it nice and slow in case anything pulls out. Okay, let's slot in behind this van, and that worked nicely. Red light ahead going green. There's probably a little bit of traffic in front of this van. I can't really see what's going, so I'm just moving over to the side here so I can see a little bit further in front of this little van. We've got cyclists on the left. Okay, van's turning right. We're going to come in past these cyclists, just giving them room in case one of them wants to pull out. I don't know if they're racing or talking. Okay, pedestrian crossing up ahead, two buses. This car, is he coming out? He's thinking about it. Let's move across here. Okay, let's move out a touch here, see if we can get in front of this bus. Give it a little bit of power. Okay, I've now got a scooter on my left, making sure I'm not hitting him as I'm coming out. Okay. Probably could have got into that bus lane then, but there's no point risking it. Red light ahead, people crossing the road, bus, maybe someone walks out from behind this bus. Got to be very careful around here. Okay, let's move in here a little bit. Every now and again I like to give, especially when I'm stopped in places like this, I like to give the engine a quick rev. Just hope that people can hear me. I was a bit of an idiot. Nearly took my foot off. Swore a bit then. Okay, look up there, nothing's coming. Okay, traffic lights, make sure no one starts to cross. Red light here, make sure no one's walking between the cars, which people often do. That's a fancy looking Burger King, isn't it? Where am I at the moment? I think I'm in Peckham at the moment. Yeah, Peckham. Was Peckham where they had Only Fools and Horses? I think it was. A little London tour taking place by me. I may do that. I may do a London tour on the bike, riding around a few different sections. Don't think I've seen that done actually. Let me know in the comments if you think that'd be a good idea. If you'd enjoy that. Pointing out some of the spots that I like. Oh, making sure he's not coming over. But you see, the bike is handling all of this pretty well. What's this guy doing? Oh, right, now that guy has been an absolute penis. There's no need to do that. But again, no point getting angry about it. No point fighting it. You know, I'm on a bike, he's in the car, I will come out worse. So my view is always, you know, keep yourself safe. And don't get involved in these altercations. I see a lot of videos on YouTube with riders getting into, you know, proper arguments with other road users about what I would call a fairly minor mistakes by the drivers, or mistakes which kind of just happen. I mean, everyone's human, you know. And my view is, if you're a biker and you have to do emergency stop, it means you've made a mistake somewhere. I'm not saying you're necessarily in the wrong, the other person could be in the wrong, but I think you've made a mistake in terms of you haven't anticipated, you know, what could happen correctly. And I think it's a sensible way to be. I don't know if you read Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. 7 Habits? 12 Habits? I think it's 7 Habits. One of the ones I always remember is the take responsibility for everything. That way you grow and adapt. Now, I could go past here, but there was a car trying to get out. I was on the brakes there nearly, but that's what you've got to be cautious about. You see, that situation there, I mean, the guy's driving like an idiot anyway, but in that situation there, I saw that he was potentially going to come out, then saw the van was letting him out, but I was probably going along a little bit too quick myself on that side. You know, that was my mistake. You know, if he'd have then pulled out in front of me to cross the lane and I'd had to emergency stop, or I'd had to brake, you know, technically he's in the wrong, because he's pulled out into my path, pulled out into me. However, you know, I've still made mistakes there as a rider, because I shouldn't, I kind of should have been a bit slower, a bit more cautious going around it. I was thinking the right things, but I probably wasn't just responding enough. Popo, How you doing, boys? You see, look at all this traffic I'm skipping past as I go through. This journey in a car would take me about 2 hours longer, I'd say, in a car each way, which is just ridiculous. That's 20 hours a week of time I'm saving. I mean, what can you do with 20 hours? Granted, I just spend a lot of my time watching YouTube, but I could do so much more. I could spend that 20 hours and get super fit. I might do that. I'm getting to the age where I probably should. 35. Body's falling apart. That's another story. No, you're not going. It's always good there to actually look at the driver, see what they're doing, where they're looking. I think she was talking on a hands-free kit in quite a conversation she was involved in, and you know, not really thinking about what was going on. Come on then. Again, there, I think there's situations where you just, you know, you let people out. Obviously, letting people out on a bike is a bit different, because you can't block a road in the same way you can with a car. So I don't let people out a lot in a bike, but if the situation presents itself where it makes sense, like there, then I might as well do it. Okay, I can hear another siren. I don't know if there's something coming up behind us. Okay, I'm thinking about people changing lanes here, realising they're in the wrong lane. L-plate scooters. Oh, they are the legends of London, I think. You know, the L-plate is a learner person, someone who's done their CBT and is then on a maximum of a 125. Right, let's go up here. I'm doing this to get out of the way of the emergency services that are coming up behind. Okay, I'm just being a bit cautious here. A few people changing lanes, car pulling over, car coming out. I probably could squeeze through, but that guy's edging forward, so there's no point being aggressive. You know, out of all these cars around me, I'm the one that's saving the most time. Okay, so coming up the left here, you can see those cars are turning left, so I've got to be a little bit cautious about it. But there are times when it makes sense to do it. But, okay, people potentially walking out of the junction. Okay, I'm not too fussed about passing this car yet, this Fiesta, because I've got this bus up ahead. So if I'm up tight behind that bus, I then can't see very far ahead of me in terms of what else is going on. So I'd rather not. What part of London am I on? Deptford. I don't know much about Deptford. Ride through it, but it's not an area of London I know. little bit cautious about people pulling up next to me. I don't know if you've seen online, but London has quite a bit of a problem with bike crime. Come on. Let's go. And you do see biker gangs around, mounting pavements, not wearing helmets, no number plate. Okay, this guy's in a rush behind me, so I'm actually going to let him go. Some bike riders get through things quicker. There's no point holding them up. And his exhaust is a bit louder than mine, so I might as well follow him, because he's creating a nice path. Okay, so that's that guy we saw earlier. I was a little worried about the scooter. I don't know if you saw, he was trying to do a wheelie just then. Let's let this guy go. I have a natural tendency to lean towards letting other bikers go first. Now see here, some bikers will just go around that little island. There you go, one did it straight away. But I'm not too sure about it. Okay, so this is Greenwich. We're coming up to where Greenwich Mean Time comes from. Don't know what we've got going on today. Paloma Faith. I know the name, but I probably couldn't I probably couldn't think of a single song. See those panniers on that guy's bike in front. Let's see how he handles getting through things. Because I'm thinking about panniers. Not as big as that, but I'm not sure if I'll have them when I'm in London. I use them more just for going on little tours. I mean, he seems fairly comfortable going out, so it's always worth remembering not to go in the gaps that the bike in front goes into, because the gaps change very quickly, so by the time you get there that gap could be different. Okay, very cautious here about cars turning right. Nope. Okay. That gap a little bit small, but I had time to get there. See, nice big fields over Greenwich. It's a nice area, Greenwich. A bit pricey. Yeah, see, I could probably get through that gap, but I'm not overly fussed about it. Oh, there was a biker behind, which I think he's going to go for it. But my view is I'm moving along, I'm making progress, not being held up by traffic, really. The only reason to pass B so I can see a little bit further ahead. it probably would have been better to be in the right lane there, looking at the traffic here, but I can alter that. Okay, there's another bike behind me. Let's move out quick. Oh, 2 cones, I wasn't expecting those. Sorry, burping there. Not burping, coughing. It's very difficult doing this all day while I'm riding along. Try to think of the right things to say. Often getting my words wrong. This video, if you're still watching this video, very impressed by the way, because it is a bit of a long one. But I'm not sure how much video recording time is on this GoPro, so it may cut out all of a sudden. If it does, thanks for watching as much as you did, and sorry for the abrupt ending. But well, you'll be able to see by the length of the video how long it goes on for anyway, so. But yeah, let me know if you like this style of video and wouldn't mind seeing some sights in London. Let me know and I'll do a little route, put something together. If there's anywhere in particular you want me to check out, we can do that. Because I suppose originally it'll just be sort of the standard tourist spots, I suppose, and some of my favourite spots as well. Now we're coming onto the A2 now. So this is one of the main faster roads out of London. But we do get traffic, which again is where the bike comes in handy. Alright, see, no point riding quick here, and slow down a little out. I like to be cautious about the minivan behind me, who was coming up quite quick and looked like he wanted to try and pass me in the same lane, which is just ridiculous, but it happens. Alright, I could go down the middle here, but I'm just going to sit here for a little while. I'm passing the that wide load ahead. Another bike's coming up on my left, he'll go for it. It's a average speed camera section though, so just want to be careful. The audio comes through okay, because I found I get a popping sound when I go over 50 miles per hour at the moment, so I'm trying to be a bit cautious about that. I'm unsure if it's from, so I'm just I'm seeing this traffic up ahead. It's all coming to a standstill, so I've got to start thinking about these cars coming over into the lane I'm in. I've got to start putting myself in the centre here, drop down to suitable gear, second will do for now, and then let's just start filtering through. So all the time filtering, I'm thinking about other vehicles coming out, changing lanes, which they do, and I've got to think about bikes behind me, which there is one bike behind me already, and I can tell he's a bit impatient, so I want to let him through. But I want to find a safe spot to pull into. And I'm not holding them up a lot just yet. Okay, traffic joining on the left. So some vehicles may be looking to come over. Guy with the big panniers is going through well, isn't he? I'm going to give this guy some room. It's just him. You know, when it comes to filtering, I think you can do it, you know, as quick or as slow as you want. You don't have to feel pressured by other bikers to go at a certain speed. You know, I mean, if you want to ride where you're not worried, I mean, you can go along with the traffic. You don't have to filter. I just think it's very good for saving some time. Okay, I've got couple of bikes behind. Fast bikes, always let the fast bikes through. They make it easier for you because they've got a louder exhaust. But then you don't need to worry about catching up with them. Just move along at your own pace. All the while keeping an eye out on the cars, on their wheels, on the way they're moving, on gaps opening up around them, to see what they could be thinking of doing. It's good to be in a lower gear for this as well, so that your engine braking has more effect and your acceleration is more responsive when you need it. See, I've jumped into third here, but I probably don't need to. Probably wise to stay in second. Quick check behind me, make sure no other bikes are coming. But you really want to be keeping all your focus ahead when you're doing this. You'll see some bikers thank other road users for giving them space. My view is, you know, if you can do it, then great. If you can't, don't worry about it. You know, a little nod here and there sometimes helps rather than putting your foot out, but I tend to not be overly concerned. I don't think road users take offence by not being thanked, because it is a little bit tricky. Okay, we've got a bike coming up behind as well, but we're now in this little line which we'll stick in. Bike behind is a loud bike. sports bike as well. I'm going to let him through when I can. I'm going to give him the space. Some cars are great at giving room, others aren't. It's just knowing when to stop, which you get used to with your bike. Knowing what spaces you're going to fit in and what you need to be slow for and what other cars are doing. Yeah, I've got to think about my mirrors. Now when it's at a standstill, I mean we're not quite at a standstill here, but when it's at a standstill you've then got to be extra careful about people opening doors and getting out of their cars. Generally if cars are stopped for, 3 minutes, you're going to get people start opening their doors. They see it as like a fun thing to do, to go and have a stand around on the middle of the road. They can't help it. They're idiots. So we are getting quite a standstill here, so I am being very cautious now. My speed has dropped well below 20 miles per hour. So we can respond quickly to anything going on. I've got no bikes behind me. Probably will have soon because I'm going slower than most bikers at this point. Don't know what he was throwing out of his window. There's bound to be some collision up ahead. I don't know if it's I'm just looking at a police there. I don't know if it's something which they've closed the road down for. Couple of revs, lets people know I'm here. If I had allowed a bike they would anyway. I can see those bikers up ahead. Don't know if they're coming from the camera, but they're looking pretty stationary or slow moving. A little gap here, take it slow. Okay, I've got another biker behind me. There are two bikers behind me. Now I've got to be cautious about people on the left, like that biker there, because he's going up a different side to me. So it could mean that cars move over to give him space, and by moving over they're moving into where I am, giving me less space. That's why most bikes you'll find will go filtering in the UK will filter in this section I am between the two outside lanes. I fit through that gap? I can. Sometimes you've got to trust your judgment a little bit, but the more you ride a bike the more you get comfortable with that. Still keep it slow. There's temptation to go quick because I've got bikes behind me. Try not to hold them up too much. Probably should let them through, but it's okay, I'm making good time. That bike's not up my arse as well, so I think he's alright with the progress that's been made. A bit of a tight spot here. But look at all this traffic we've been going through anyway. Tremendous amount of traffic. I could have pulled in there to let him through. Should have done. Traffic is moving, so let's pull in here. Traffic is moving, so they've not closed the lanes. They may have closed two though, but and in terms of how often roads are like this, you know, every other day. I mean, it's pretty regular to get traffic like this in this area. Maybe not this road, but it'll be another road. And that's why the time saving is so significant. Interesting music choice. I don't know if that's coming through. You see, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit through these ones. Goes a little lean that way, then a little further lean, and we're through. Yeah, these mirrors are big, so they're good for seeing behind, but they're a bit crap. Oh, he's waiting. Okay, you see that car changing lane up ahead? That biker had to stop. So again, traffic joining on the left hand side, so we've got to think about cars trying to move over to the right. Traffic is so slow that a lot of the time it stays in its own lane, but as soon as something starts moving, they'll be moving across. Everyone will be getting impatient now. Oh, that was close. I've got to move over, give this guy some room. Sports bikes are better for getting through. But now I've got to try and wiggle around again and get back in. This road has got a lot tighter from before. Now getting quite hot. find when you start riding, the concentration requirement for doing this is quite high, and it can be quite tiring, so it's good to take breaks. I don't know if there's a bike behind me. Look, there is. Right, there seems to be more space on the left. Let's squeeze out there. More space here because this lane is coming off, so I mean some people are coming down here to then get back onto the main road, but not a lot of them are. Now see, that was a bit difficult, but we saw it happening. We're prepared for it. This guy's indicating he's going to come across before we get there probably. I'm just going to give him a flash to let him know. Okay, he's not going. Can't go yet. Yeah, see that situation there, I didn't have to brake super heavy, but you see people on, there's a lot of people on YouTube who'd put up videos like that where they'd then be shouting at the guy, you know, going mental, and you're just like, you know, how much opportunity did he have to see me, you know? And I'm on this part of the road, which is even less likely for me to be. So, you know, I think this is the case of be reasonable, man. It really annoys me, those videos. I watched them for because I'm still a fairly new biker. What I did was I figured I'd watch loads of videos of crashes and near misses, as it would then kind of improve my instincts a little bit, because I can see what's happening, where issues are. Right, we're at a standstill now. Cars, people will be getting out of their cars soon. Take it nice and slow. I want to get back in the other lane. Checking for a biker coming up. No biker. So if we're at a standstill, that means there's been a big crash, which isn't good. Last time I was on this road, there was actually a big standstill, and it was a biker. I'm not sure how he was. Didn't look like he'd been hit by a car though. I think he'd lost control, if I remember right. The traffic is moving up ahead. But a lot of these guys don't know that, so they could be getting out. I moved over for that biker, but obviously he's found that route up there. I'm tempted to join them, but I'll be okay for a minute. I was just about to say about this right lane is moving fast than the left lane, so you're going to get cars wanting to come over. Classic example, then happens in front of me. But yeah, I think that's the sort of things you need to be thinking about. What is this left lane here? feel a bit like the traffic is going to clear up now. Just got that sense because we're moving a little bit. I don't feel the need to go up the centre yet. And they're going. Let's let this guy in first. Two guys. Okay, so it looks like these cars were the ones involved in the crash. Or breakdown, it looks like. Now the traffic will ease up, but it's always best to be careful now because everyone's going to start moving along quickly, thinking, yeah, I'm past the traffic. And as a result, they may come into another bit of traffic straight away, and now they're coming at speed. So make sure we can see far ahead, see what's going on, check out the brake lights. Not bothered about the car in front braking, it's the car 5 cars in front of him. And then the ones behind. See, we've got brake lights up ahead now. So we're staying on the centre. If they brake hard, my exit route is down the centre of these, which is there. Okay, they're braking hard again. I've got to think about these cars changing lanes now. This white car is a little bit far over for filtering. Let's move now. You see, people are thinking, oh, I thought I was past the traffic, and now they're going to be really inclined to jump and move. So actually, caution, there's a bike behind me. I'm going to let him through. There's brake lights ahead. I'm going to start braking now to make sure I've got enough gap. I'm going to pop in behind him. I have no idea if this is still recording, but I really hope it is, because this is quite good filtering, I think. Okay, I'm thinking about this white car popping out. You're not, that's okay. People will change lanes without indicating at times here. So it's good to sort of look at which way the car's facing, what's happening in front of them. You know, are they coming to a stop? If they're coming to a stop, they're more inclined to jump a lane if the lane to the side of them is moving. And also it's worth considering, you know, is there a car that is in their way? If there isn't a car in the way and you're going to end up being the only thing in their way, then that's more of a risk. If there's a car in the way, they're more likely to see the car. So okay, again, so we're now moving quicker again, but we're looking up ahead. You see there is more traffic still. Again, here I'm going to change lanes because I've got that because I've got the red van. Couldn't really see in front of it. I've got a bike coming up behind me on my right hand side. Okay, this van isn't coming in, the bike's a little bit far back. I'm going to pop over this bit here in front of the van, then I'm going to move over and give that bike room in case he wants to come up through the centre. Looks like he's quite happy staying where he is at the moment. Oh, was that one of the ones I saw before? Yeah, it was. I thought he was further past me. Okay, making sure I keep a nice gap. As I come to this hill, I can't see quite over and see all the brake lights. I can see people on the bend, they're not braking there, so I feel okay. Okay, dropping down to a 50 here. So I'm just thinking about what's behind me, how my dropping down is going to affect them. And a lot of people don't go through it at 50, so I'm actually going to move over in front of this guy here, because he looks like he was about to come down. Checking that car on the left, see if he's coming over. See, no one's dropped to 50 yet. I'm dropping down a little bit, so I'm just going to drop a little bit more. I'm actually going to move over here. So it's best to move at the speed of the traffic. Apart from when you're filtering. Oh, I just realised after I said that. Okay, so traffic up here, so I want to move over. I'm going to get into between the two outside lanes. Okay, this guy gonna... Oh, Jesus. I don't know why you wouldn't let me in. I mean, it's just bonkers sometimes. Absolutely bonkers. Okay, no bikes. Okay, I'm good. Nice big space here. But the dangers are still the same as with a small space, apart from clipping something. It's less of a danger, but I've still got to worry about people pulling over. I didn't see that biker, which I'm a little bit annoyed with myself about. I like to know where other bikers are. But you see there, I mean, I'm a biker, I look out for bikers, and I did not see that guy until he was right on my left hand side. Goes to show, how can you be annoyed with car users that don't see you at times? You can't. It's a ridiculous thing to be annoyed with them about. You need to be realistic. Sometimes they'll see you, sometimes they won't. Thinking about anyone coming over. Just thinking about that black car coming across then. Okay, see this red BMW? He's slowing down ever so slightly, so will he come across? Not sure. Not sure at the moment. It's not indicating he will. Just got to be cautious about that. If you're part way through overtaking and the traffic speeds up, act accordingly. Okay, I've got brake lights ahead. This is going to slow down. I'm just moving over for that guy, but then I'm back into my zone here, keeping an eye out for people moving across. I can't slow down too much yet because the lane I'm in is going quite quick. And the car behind will end up undertaking me if I go too slow. So I've just got to be a little bit cautious of the way things go. Okay, see there, I could have kept going hard, but you know, we're getting up to speed now. Traffic is clearing and moving. There are times when there's no need, but I always remember to, you know, then sort of create a bit of a gap between you and car in front. Okay, I can see brake lights ahead. brake lights have travelled down towards me. I'm popping up on the left hand side here. I'm actually going to pop into this left lane on this one. I'm a bit worried about cars coming over, and this just gives me a little bit more time. Okay, I'm now going to pop back in. Okay, brake lights ahead. I'm not worried about one brake light, one car braking. It's multiple brake lights is then when you know traffic is coming to the slowing down and potentially coming to a stop. I'm going to pop back in on this side here. A lot of time people are braking like that Mercedes, the dark grey Mercedes behind that that little van. You know, he was tapping the brakes. He was tapping the brakes because he was too close to that van in front. That's why I don't really worry about single braking. In these traffic situations, a lot of drivers will, you know, not move with the traffic, not flow with it. They will just accelerate, stop, accelerate, stop, accelerate, stop. Okay, brake lights, multiple brake lights. So again, I'm checking my left-hand side. That is clear. Positioning the bike to the centre. We've got the services here. I'm actually going to come off here. Coming over, checking this car's coming into my lane. He's not coming over either. And a little bit quick between these people, but that's okay. Come over. Yeah, I'm going to come off at the services. I think the video has either finished recording or I'll be amazed if it's got it all. That would be awesome. But it's a good time for me to have a break anyway, after all that mental activity getting out of London. I hope you've enjoyed the video if you are still watching. If you do, hit that like button, maybe send me a comment, maybe subscribe. Now I know the road layout down here, there's a roundabout, we're going to be going left on the roundabout, and all these cars are going left as well, but they're going to take a while. So what I do is I just head down here, and then I'm really sneaky and join it here. And I go left, and I let this old dear go first, which she does. Keep an eye on her, seeing if she was going to go straight over or not, but she wasn't. I don't know if she wants to come across into this lane, so I'm just going to keep it nice and slow. She did have a little look over. I don't know if she was looking to see what I was doing or not. But people tend to look before they move. So always good to keep an eye out for head movements in cars. So this is at the M2, it's one of my favourite service stations. Don't know why, it's just quite cool. they've got good food, and they've got a good jet wash over there, and they've got little benches and things so you can have a little rest. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope this is recorded, that'd be awesome. And catch you for the next one. Cheers, bye.